Hey there, Fireforge leaders. Welcome back to another episode of the Fireforge Leader podcast. Today, I wanted to jump into a concept that has profoundly impacted my life and career, and that's the importance of having people speak your name in rooms where you are not present. This concept isn't just a feel-good idea. It's a powerful strategy that can open up doors, create opportunities, and propel your leadership journey forward. In fact, I'm currently recording this episode from beautiful Melbourne, Australia. A trip made possible by a man who has always believed in me and advocated for me behind closed doors. So let's explore this idea together and discuss how as leaders we can and should pay this courtesy forward. Before we get into that though, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Steve Baumgartner. I am your humble host and founder of the Fireforge Leader podcast, and my mission here today, and the mission of this podcast, is to serve you through providing knowledge, tools, and resources around leadership on three primary battlefronts. Those battlefronts are simply out in your workplaces, in your community, and most importantly, with your family. Now let's get to work.
Leaders are not born in a womb. They are forged through heat, pressure, and a whole lot of sweat. The Fireforge Leader podcast serves the audience through exploring leadership at work, in the community, and with the family, using a practical perspective and real-life experiences from the host Steve Baumgartner and his guests in the Forge. Now, it's time to enter the Forge with the Fire-Forged Leader.
Before I talk about this story of how I got to Australia, let's first define what it means to have someone speak your name in a room that you're not present in. This is advocacy at its finest. And it's when someone believes in your abilities and potentials so strongly that they promote you and your work, even if you're not there to do it yourself. Now, this kind of advocacy can happen in many forms, whether it's a mentor that's recommending you for a job, it's a colleague endorsing your idea in a meeting, or even a leader highlighting your achievements to your peers. And why is this so powerful? Because opportunities often come from relationships and networks. The more people who recognize your value and are willing to vouch for you, the more doors open. It's about building a reputation that precedes you, and that creates a ripple effect that can lead to incredible opportunities for you. So now back to the story that really illustrates this point. As I mentioned, I'm currently sitting in Melbourne, Australia. A beautiful place, an amazing city, great architecture. And this trip is really a direct result of another man advocating for me. So I remember a few months ago, I was contacted by John Ross, a good friend of mine, and he let me know that he gave my name to a gentleman named Ian. Now, this man, Ian, was looking for a speaker for a conference in Australia. I didn't think much of it at the time because, in my mind, I wasn't sure that it was all going to work out. I mean, why would they want to fly me, of all people, out to Australia to speak in front of other people? Now, I went through with the meeting. I talked to this Ian, and from there, I've been flown out to Melbourne. And because of John's endorsement, I was invited to participate in this event here in Australia. This experience has been incredible so far, providing me with new perspectives, new connections, and tremendous opportunities that I wouldn't have otherwise. Now, as leaders, it's crucial to recognize the impact that we have. the impact that we have by advocating for other people. Now, just as John spoke my name in a room that I wasn't in, we should strive as leaders to do the same for those that we believe in. Now, here's a few ways that we can pay this courtesy forward. First, as leaders, we need to identify and nurture talent. We need to look for those individuals in our teams or in our networks who really show potential. And we provide them with opportunities to shine and grow. We also need to be vocal about other people's achievements, not just our own. When you see someone doing great work, don't keep it to yourself. Share their successes with others, especially in situations where it can really make a difference. We need to mentor and sponsor others. When we go beyond, when we mentor and sponsor other individuals, it really means putting your reputation on the line to advocate for their advancement. You use your position in life to help them take the next step on their journey. We need to create platforms for recognition. This is a skill that we have to develop to recognize others. And we can use our influence to create opportunities where others can be recognized and celebrated for their contributions. So I want to give you a couple practical steps now as leaders, how we can really get practical and take some steps to become advocates for other people. First, we need to be observant. Pay attention to those around you. Pay attention to their strengths and the achievements of those people. Now, I know it's easy to get bogged down in life. You know, inflation's going crazy. We have to be tighter in our businesses. We have to do more with less. And if you're anything like me, when these times come, you get bogged down and you put your head down and you just push through it. But I need you to stop today. I need you to lift your head up and realize that you don't win on your own. It's the other people around you that make you successful. Next thing is I need you to work on building relationships. Develop genuine relationships that are based on trust and mutual respect. Do this with the people who are on your team, do it with your peer group, and do it outside of your environment. I can't express how important it is to keep strong networks and communities around you. Strive to meet new people and strengthen those bonds that you have with your current networks. Next is we need to communicate effectively. We need to be clear, we need to be concise, and we need to be specific when advocating for someone else. Go out there and highlight their unique contributions and go out there and highlight their potential. And then be consistent. This isn't a one-time thing. Make advocacy a regular part of your leadership practice. It can't just be a one-time act. Now, my friend John, he is a perfect embodiment of this. He consistently introduces me to new people, and he's always in my corner. I've been amazed throughout my career how many times that he stood up in front of other people and talked about me rather than himself. So just to wrap this all up, as I enjoy my time here in Australia, I am really reminded of the profound impact that advocacy can have on our careers and our lives. This man, John, that I talked about, he believes in me, and he speaks my name in rooms that I'm not in. And that led to this amazing opportunity in Australia. As leaders, we have the power to do the same for everyone around us. So let's commit to being advocates for those people. Let's recognize and promote their talents and achievements to our networks. And by doing so, we can create a culture of mutual support and growth where everyone has the chance to succeed. And I'd like to thank you for joining me on yet another episode of the Fireforge Leader Podcast. If you found this discussion valuable, please share it with your network and leave a review. Until next time, keep forging your path with purpose and passion.
You have just experienced the heat and pressure of the forge. Remember, words without action are meaningless. Now, after the heat of the forge, shape your thoughts, quench your brain, then put your new tools to use, adding to your leadership. Tune in next week for more lessons from the forge.